Matthew McGee was a chipper young lad. He did everything happy and always seemed glad. Now coming from class that never took place, he would surprise his girl Jenny. They would laugh and embrace. For she was the one, and he loved her so very, much later this day he would ask her to marry. With joyous delight, Matt thought of his spouse when he saw his friend Michael going into his house.
Oh, hello, Michael,
said Matthew with glee.
What are you doing? Are you here to see me?
Matthew,
he said.
Why aren't you in class? I didn't expect to see you at 3/4 past.
Then off Michael ran with no other word. He seemed a bit nervous and a little deterred. What in the world was his friend doing here? He wasn't invited. It seemed a bit queer. But this wasn't the day for Matthew to care. Nothing could spoil it, so he didn't despair. So in Matthew went to find his girl Jenny. He just couldn't wait because he loved her so plenty.
Matthew,
she said,
why aren't you at class? How late did it get? Is it 3/4 past? I have to go. There's this thing very soon. But of course I'll be back later this afternoon.
The tiniest kiss, just a peck, so it seemed, which was little to nothing from the girl of his dreams. Then off she was too, at a speedier pace. They never did laugh, and they didn't embrace.
I wonder,
thought Matt,
if Michael and she were being unfaithful. No, that couldn't be. It wouldn't be right. It wouldn't be nice. Michael wouldn't do that with my future wife.
It's not that Matt didn't trust his old friend, but this wasn't the first time. It was happening again. He's found them before, in more recent days, seeming to act and or plot in strange ways. But cahootsing aside, she still was his love. They still would be married and be happy thereof. A magical dinner is what she will get. It will be so romantic, she could never forget. But when dinner was prepared and all things were ready, she still wasn't back for his love and spaghetti. He patiently waited for hours on end. Jenny had to come back, or was she with his friend?
Matt,
Jenny said.
I'm at Michael's home. There's something I must tell you, but not over the phone. Would you come over so we can then talk? It's not very far. You could even walk.
What? That's outrageous. She was there the whole time? How could they do this? It's no longer fine.
This was the last straw. There were no straws to come. Matthew now knew what had to be done.
Yes, my dear,
Matt replied, most sincere.
I'll come right on over. Before you know, I'll appear.
No longer for them would this cheating be fun. He hung up the phone and searched for a gun. There was none in the bed, bath, or room meant for living, but a knife from the kitchen would be most unforgiving.
Aha!
He exclaimed as he picked up the knife.
Now I will teach him she's my future wife.
In his mind's eye, he could see it all then. He would kick open the door and stab again and again. This was all their fault, and now they'll regret. Michael shouldn't have tried this with Matt's Juliet. As Matthew approached his ex-friend Michael's door, he swore no mercy, only killing galore. He stood there bedazzled and a little fum-cused, as well as all other feelings that are way overused. This wasn't the scene of a lover's affair. He had been mistaken, and now caught, unaware. Still not quite over his shocktative trance, Matt hid the large knife in the back of his pants.
Matthew McGee, you know I love thee. If I may have the honor, will you marry me?
That's why they plotted and or acted so strange. He never did guess, only dwelled in derange. A nod of agreement in lieu of killing replaced, although his heart sank happily when they finally embraced. The treasonous two, in fact the lovingest ones, and his smile was at least twice as bright as the sun's. For future with Matthew, no more rage toward his friends, only love for the other, forever happy, the end.
What's this?